Everyone, welcome to my video. I hope you all had a nice week and a nice weekend actually. And as I'm filming this right now, just so you know, I pre-record, so it's Saturday today when I'm filming for Monday, but it's kind of rainy here, and so I just wanted to apologize up front for the lighting if it looks weird, because there's not too many places in my apartment that are good for shooting video, and so I had to come to a spot where there's the most like natural light that I can find, and this was the spot. So really quick before I get into my story time, I want to introduce you to my co-host Frank Sinatra. He's not going to say anything. He's just a co-host that just sort of stands there with his arms folded in indignation or something. I don't know. So today's story time is actually going to be, sorry, I'm fiddling with stuff on the set. I'm just so professional though. But so today's story time is going to be a two-parter, you guys, but it's not going to be long, I promise. I could hear the groans when I said it was going to be a two-parter, but no, it's not going to be long, I promise. I'm not going to take forever. So the two-parter thing is, one, I'm going to tell you how I became a Musings fan, and then two, I'm going to tell you about my very first concert experience, very first one. And the reason I'm telling that story is because my very first concert ever was a Musings concert. So with all of that being said, I'm going to get into it. So I think I said in my last video, I've been a Musings fan, I like to say, since birth, because my mom was a Musings fan. She grew up in the 60s, and we have, you know, I grew up on that music basically from the 60s, all of the music from the 60s, not just the Musings. But so when I was little, from the time I was little, I've always loved music, and I have very eclectic taste in music, as you can see from my co-host there. But when I was little and I learned how to operate my mom's record player, I was always getting into my mom's records. And so I was always playing every record that my mom had, and I always wanted to be a singer. And I actually have a funny story time about that too that's Musings related, so that's going to be next week's video. But anyway, so I would always put on these little shows and with my mom's records, and so just so you know, I was a backup singer for Elvis when I was 6, and and countless other. I sang with Carole King and Joni Mitchell. So my mom had a Musings record, and so the first time I ever heard the Musings was when I was about 6 years old, I think. And she had, I'm going to show you the record because I actually still have the record. I still play this record from time to time, even though it's very worn out. It has scratches, and we're going to talk about one of the scratches in a second. But so this is the record right here. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this particular album. But this was my mom's. And gosh, I'm just having so many great memories, just like the first time I ever put this on. First of all, I was drawn to the photo on the cover, and you guys, I read somewhere, and I think it was Mickey that said that their outfits for this album cover came from JCPenney, and I don't know why, but I think that is so hilarious. That their clothes came from JCPenney. I don't know why I think that's funny. I just do. I think because it seems so glamorous, and they all look so, you know, so hip and so cool, that the last place you think they got their clothes from would be JCPenney. But anyway, so when I first put this record on, I of course listened to every single song, and I loved every single song. But my absolute favorite song off of this album, and this is a song that I played over and over and over and over again, to the point where one day my mom said to me, "You do know there's other songs on this album, right?" And I was like, "Yes, Mom, but I just really love this song. I just love, his voice." I just remember saying to my mom, and I think I was like 7 or maybe it was 8, because by then I had probably completely worn my mother out from playing this record so much and playing The Kind of Girl I Could Love. That's the song. And I played it over and over and over again. I just love that song. That's my favorite Monkees song of all time. And I just remember telling my mom, I was like, this man, and I'm like, this man's voice. And my mom was just like smiling, and she just tolerated me, I think. But I think also she appreciated the fact that I liked music from her generation, But so I played this song over and over and over again. So there's a little scratch on this record in The Kind of Girl I Could Love because I played the song so much. So there's like a little hiccup in the song, and it became embedded in my brain. So whenever I hear the song, I anticipate that little hiccup. And so it's so funny because the other day I was actually listening to it on my phone. So that's obviously the digital version. But even listening to the digital version, I was anticipating that little hiccup. And when it didn't happen, I just laughed because I thought, okay, you're not listening to the record. But that's how much I love that song. So that will always be my all-time favorite Monkee song. Just so many memories with it, and just so many great memories of my mom and just everything. So subsequently, she bought me more Monkees records, but I don't know what happened to them. I don't have them anymore. I mean, I can only assume that maybe I wore them out so much that they just weren't worth keeping. But I have to say that I'm really glad that I still have this one because, because it belonged to my mom, and also, it was my first taste of the Monkees, my first taste of Nez, and it means a lot to me. So this record is gonna be here for a very, very long time, and will be passed down to, I don't have kids, but I can pass it down to my nieces or nephews or whatever. So anyway, so now I'm going to talk about the concert, because that was an extremely memorable night for me, because even though it was, I don't even want to say how many years ago it was, but it was, I think, in either 1986 or 1987 that I saw them live. That is around too where I first found out about the TV show and actually first got to see the TV show, because right around that time was when they were doing their reunion, and I think that's when they released That Was Then, This Is Now. And so I think it was Nickelodeon, I want to say it was Nickelodeon that started playing the reruns, and I just remember that summer they played the reruns every day at around 12:30. And so no matter where I was in the neighborhood, I had to be home by 12:30 to watch the Monkees. Or if I wasn't going to be home, I would ask my mom to set the VCR. You guys, that's how old I am, okay? We had to set the timer on the VCR to record the Monkees. So, and I loved the TV show. I absolutely loved the TV show. I have to say, mostly I liked the TV show because of the music. It exposed me to more of their music, and then, subsequently, then I would beg my mom to buy me more albums. And so I really think I liked it for the music, but it was also a really funny show. It just makes you happy when you watch it. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, and even to this day, I have all the episodes on DVD now. So, every once in a while I'll pop in a DVD and I'll watch a couple of episodes, and it just makes you feel so happy. And it's like, just anything could have happened during the week that just sort of brings you down. Life as an adult is not easy, you guys. It's just not. And it's just nice to have something that you can turn on and just completely forget about your problems, and you just laugh at it's just silly, and you just laugh and you enjoy yourself in the music, and And I just spend the whole time with a big grin on my face because it brings back so many wonderful memories from my childhood. And I think back on it and I'm just so blessed that the Monkees were such a huge part of my childhood, and I love it. And that's kind of a side note about being involved with this channel. It is really bringing back so many great memories for me, and it's really making me feel young again. Not that I felt old before I started doing this, but you'll understand too, and I hate to sound like your parents, but you'll understand when you get older. But you reach a certain point in life where there's just so much reality going on, so much adulting that you have to do, and adulting just really sucks, you guys. It just sucks. So I love feeling this way again. I just love feeling this way again. I feel alive again. And you know, since my mom passed away, it's been a long time. I'm getting emotional. It's been a long time since I felt truly, since she passed, I haven't felt truly alive like I did when she was around. And so being a part of this has really, and like bringing up all these memories and all these great songs and Nez and everything, it's just bringing me life again, you guys. So again, I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, I'm crying, but I just really mean it. It means a lot to me, and this is so much fun just reliving all this stuff. So let me shut up about that and stop crying and get on to the story. So we found out that the Monkees were coming here to Houston, and I told my mom, and I was so excited. I think I was even jumping up and down, and like my mom was excited too. My mom is one of those people that, I'm gonna get emotional talking about my mom, but my mom was so cool, you guys. She was so cool, and she would do anything for me. She would just do anything for me. And we didn't, you know, we weren't wealthy. My mom was a single mom. She was doing it single-handedly with no help at all. You know, she did everything herself. And so how she afforded the concert tickets, I have no idea. But I'm just like forever grateful that she did it, because it's a night I'm never ever gonna forget. So she took me and my friend Michelle to the concert, and my friend Michelle, she was nuts for Davey. I mean, she just loved Davey, and I loved Michael, but unfortunately during that tour, Michael didn't participate, and I'm not really sure why. But now that I've read his memoir, this is merely my opinion, and I'm not speaking for him, but I think at that point in his life, I think he had moved on to other things, and I think he just wasn't wanting to go backward in a way. I think he was just focusing on the present and what he was doing at that time. So I totally respect that. I do wish he would have been there, but I totally respect why he wasn't there, you know. But so it was just Mickey, Davey, and Peter. But I was still extremely excited. And they were playing at, we used to have a Six Flags park called Astroworld, and it has since been torn down, which is really sad. It's a parking lot now where Astroworld used to be. So I always think of that Joni Mitchell song, They Paved Paradise and Put Up a Parking Lot. That's what happened to Astroworld, you guys. So sad. It was like they were ripping apart my childhood. But so every time I drive by there now, I just shake my head, because it's a parking lot. I mean, it's just a parking lot. So anyway, at the time, Astroworld had a huge outdoor amphitheater, and they had different concerts and stuff. So Peter, Mickey, and Davey came and they played there. And so I remember my mom took me and my friend Michelle to Astroworld that day. So we got to do the theme park that day, ride all the rides and everything. And then we went to the concert that night. And my mom bought me a t-shirt, and I immediately put the t-shirt on after she bought it. I didn't even wait, I just put it on. And then I got like a little program too. And the funniest thing, you guys, is that their opening act was Weird Al Yankovic. And I'm sure all of you know who Weird Al is. I mean, pretty much everybody knows who he is. He does those like really funny parody songs. So I I thought it was weird then, and I think it's weird now, that was their opening act. But in a way, I guess it was fitting, you know, I don't know, because he's kind of zany and funny. So it kind of fits with like the TV show, I guess. But anyway, the only song that stands out to me that Weird Al did was when he did Like a Surgeon. So that was like a parody of Madonna's song Like a Virgin. And he had on the full like surgical garb and the whole like operating room set. I mean, he was full on, like almost like he was doing a music video right there on the stage. I do remember that. And then the only thing I can remember, I mean, because you guys, this was a long time ago. We're talking like 1987. I think that's before some of you were born. But I just remember screaming, and me and my friend Michelle dancing and hugging each other and screaming and like having no voice by the end of the show. So I have a photo I'm going to show you of me, and hopefully the camera will focus on it. Yeah, there we go. This is me after the concert. I have that after concert glow, and that's the t-shirt that my mom bought me, and that's the program. And this is Mickey's signature, which I'll tell you about in a second. So I never wanted to take that t-shirt off. I wore it all the time. My mom could barely get it off me to wash. I don't have the t-shirt anymore. I think it got worn out and we had to throw it away. And the story about Mickey's signature is that I went to see him in concert a few years ago, and I brought this photo with me and in the hopes that I would get to meet him. And I did get to meet him, and he was so nice. And I told him the story about the concert, and he was just so kind, and he smiled, and he grabbed the photo from me and he signed it. And God, he was so sweet. It was really nice to meet him and everything. He's a really great guy. So anyway, that is my story for this week. And let me know in the comments below, because I am making it my mission to replace the Monkees albums that I used to have and don't have anymore. And I was thinking about doing a vlog and maybe taking you guys with me when I go shopping for vinyl. Let me know what you think below. Also, put below what is your favorite Monkees song. And that's all I have for right now. So from me and my co-host Frank here, I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.